So we're gonna do squatting today. We're gonna be starting with 3 times through of 10 alternating, so 10 total, not 10 per side. 10 alternating Cossack squats. I said weight optional
Okay.
if you want to use a weight. But that's our lateral squat shape. Always switching side to side. I'll show you. You've seen this one before. Um, I have 10 push-ups into a down dog. Just right part pushing, part stretch flow piece. You could be as yoga as you like with this, but I'm gonna be a little more rigid because I choose to be. And then 10 per side plank crunch, which we've done a side plank, we've done a side plank leg lift. This is sort of the next step. So we can talk about regressing this if we need to get less hard or less complicated. So repeating that 3 times. Everything is 10 total or 10 per side. Okay. The working piece is 5 sets of 5 per side Bulgarian split squats. Same rep scheme, 5 by 5 per leg. But if we can increase either time under tension, if that feels appropriate, so slowing it down, adding weight or more weight, we can change the weight from, let's say, by your side to your shoulders, right? We can kind of make this as complex as you need, or keep it the same. If last week felt 2 weeks ago felt appropriately challenging, and then we have we do 3 times through 10 per leg, reverse lunge steps, Romanian deadlifts, 10 plank rows. But those we'll review that as we get through the bottom piece. Um, let's keep the warm up brief, just like some cat cows, bird dogs. If you have any stuff Marisa comes up throughout that, we can also
Okay.
address that on the fly because
Yeah,
we
my ankle is doing better, but I do notice that it is still sensitive.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sensitive is a good neutral term, as in like I interpret that as you feel something,
Yeah.
but it doesn't hurt, right? Or like maybe as opposed to sharp, it's like, oh, I know something that's happening. Um,
I'm not 100% yet.
but if it's more than that, um,
Yeah.
then obviously let's make sure we don't touch that or go past that. Yeah, this weekend I might have accidentally sent a young family on the bridge the wrong side because apparently the bridge was closed on the bike side this
Oh.
weekend, Sunday
Oh.
or Saturday. I forgot what day.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, oops, sorry, I didn't realize. But I think hopefully I got them to the parking lot, and I was like, well, you should be able to get, on the gravel path because my theory was like that's the least congested way to get there.
Oh.
Um,
Okay.
and turns out, like, I guess Nikki was like, oh yeah, the bridge was the bike side was closed.
Oh.
Um, and which is fine because if they're detoured, they should have been heavily signed,
Yeah, there would be signage.
but they would have to bike on the pedestrian side on a weekend. Whoa.
Oh. Yeah.
Anyway, I hope they got there fine. But
Well, everybody's there. And I'm sure they wouldn't be the only one if the other side was closed, so.
well, that's just pandemonium on a really nice day.
Oh,
Um,
really nice.
it was like,
Pandemonium is a good word. Okay.
okay, from here, just do a quick bit of rotation, right? So tabletop position.
Um, oh yeah.
Mm, mm. I'm doing 3 per side, but if you want to do a few more, you can do a few more.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
and then we're gonna do the 90/90s, but this time, if you feel so inclined, you're welcome to add in this piece where we're kind of going to a lunge shape. So I haven't moved my feet, all right? Staying where they are.
Okay.
I'm just extending the back hip. So opposite is off the ground. I go into my lunge. Again, this lunge part is optional. If you just want to stick with the good old fashioned, just this to this, I'm fine with that. Okay. But if you feel so inclined, you can add in slightly more.
Okay.
Same thing, total of 10. This version might take longer because each repetition takes longer. So well, I'll demonstrate the Cossack squats. This shouldn't be a problem on your ankle.
Okay.
Because a couple options: decrease range of motion, just don't go slow. And obviously we're not getting to the point where it hurts. Okay, so we're doing 10 alternating, and each rep is a lateral movement. So I'm a little wider than normal, right? If I squat here normally, so a little wider than my hip width, shoulder hip width. This is where I constantly squat from. I'm toed out. My feet are still active. I'm not collapsing the arches of my feet. I'm going to go to the left here. I'm going to send my hip back and come back up. Now you'll probably notice my range of motion is very different than when I squat with 2 feet. This foot can release. It doesn't have to. And personally, I feel a bit of a stretch on my inseam here, my adductors. But we're not looking to pull a groin. So don't go so far that this hurts, okay? Or it feels like it's too far of a stretch. From the side, like I'm squatting on, look like a squat, right? A very shallow squat, albeit, but still. So we're doing 10 alternating. Okay, that's kind of good. Push up, down dog. You keep going, Risa. You know what that is. So I'm not gonna, just in case for anyone who needs clarification. The push up, down dog is you're gonna be in a plank shape. You can do full plank, drop the knees, elevate the hands, coming down to touch your object. So this is floor, right? If you're a tabletop, right? Come to that plank shape. Get through shoulders, right? And then repeat that for 10. If you're using an elevated surface, you can go table still push up to your object and then just go into a tabletop stretch, which is also nice. Good. You're gonna assist these push-ups as needed. When your hips go above your head, you can bend the knees if you'd like. Again, just a nice, good stretch, right? Whatever that is. don't have to go crazy hard on that stretch. I used to push up from my knees, but you can obviously push up from a full plank position. Choose to do so. Good work. Yeah, these start to bite a little bit. That's okay. And it's okay if these take a while. So if you need rest somewhere within those 10 reps, that's very reasonable. The next thing you do is a side plank 10 per side, comma, side plank crunch. So essentially, we've been building up to this. We did a side plank hold. It's always an option. We did side plank leg lift, if I remember correctly. And then now we're adding in extra complexity. So your side plank can be full length. It could be being bent knee. Doesn't really matter. This is easier to do. This is harder. So if we're doing either version, I'm going to squeeze my butt. I'm going to lift my hips towards the camera to make a straight line. And then this is my side plank. The leg lift is this. Okay, so you do 10 of those. If you feel inclined, you can make a starfish. My hands up here. And then touch, 2. So basically you're holding the side plank shape. Same thing with the knee bend. So same idea. Leg lift. Yeah. It could be, right? So we're kind of driving down this, we're driving up, I should say, this leg, this glute's engaged. And then lifting this leg engages that. This is a little extra complex. 10%.
Okay. All right. I've already done
Again,
that.
you can bend the bottom knee if you'd like.
And then, yeah, I'm going to go on my knee on this side. So,
That's fine. Yeah, especially with the ankle. Yes, please. That's fine.
all right.
Cool. After you complete 10%, that's one round. We're doing 2 more.
Oh, okay. All right.
So back to your alternating Cossack squats.
Oh, okay. All right.
So back to the top of the list.
Okay. There you go. Yes, I can't remember anything at this hour. All right. All right.
Good. Yeah, slightly wider than normal stance, and you're just sort of squatting. And I think if it wasn't clear, you're not expected to hit parallel. I mean, it's great if you do, but I'm not expecting the same squat depth you would expect with, let's say, a 2-footed squat, for example.
Yeah, I noticed it on my calf, actually.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right.
Having tight calves as a cyclist and a runner is not a shock to me.
Oh, okay.
Or having tighter calves, I should say. Unless that's something you actively and very intentionally work on. Does not surprise me in the slightest.
Okay.
If the push-up down dog takes you a long time because you're stretching, holding the position, pumping the calves, whatever, you are open to reducing the number of reps, right? 8 reps, 5 reps instead of 10. Something that feels appropriate words in terms of time under tension. So if 10's too many, do less. And you can bias the stretching element, the down dog part, versus the push-up, although we're still doing some push-ups. You're doing a great job, Marisa. Your hand does not need to go over your head,
Oh,
right? That's does not need to be here. It could just be kind of stacked, right?
okay.
Shoulder, and then,
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can reach, but you don't have to reach.
Okay.
That is not a requirement. That's just adding more
Oh,
complexity to it, which is not a bad thing. But I just want to recognize you don't have to do that if you don't want to,
unless we
unless
have.
it makes sense for you. In which case, go for it.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's 2 rounds.
That's 2 rounds. You have one more.
All right.
Good. You take a break.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, definitely feel it on my right calf more.
Which was the ankle you twisted? Or,
Oh,
um,
my right side.
yeah.
Yeah. Is that okay? As long as it's not unexpected.
Well, even if you didn't do that to your ankle, having a tighter side or a different sensation per leg,
Uh-huh.
in this case, they're squatting, um, is fine. I think it would be different if you're like, hey, the right side's tighter and it's getting progressively tighter, and I'm also not doing anything about that. That's different than, oh, it's different. Okay, at least I know.
Okay.
Um,
Wait, I lost count. I think this is about 10. Okay.
Close enough. For anyone who can't deal with pressure on their wrists, I realize that's a factor for some, um, or not a lot, I should say. You're welcome if you are flexible enough. There's a caveat here to do this, and I'm not, so I'm not going to do this. Doing this from your forearms. I'm sure there's a name for this in yoga. Sorry, I don't know what it is, but you can do a plank shape, not a push-up, a plank shape into sort of a down dog position, but on your forearms. But that requires a lot of upper back mobility. And Joseph isn't here to demonstrate because I cannot cannot do that variation. So well, let's put it this way. I'm not going to go ahead and try and demonstrate this at early in the morning.
Okay, is that
It made for good comedy though. Good.
I think that's 10-ish.
Finish.
All of our friends are seem to be out of town.
Well, we still have Maxine and Meg are still,
In Dover. Oh, I
yep.
hope.
I mean, unlikely, but I know it's the tail end of a hurricane, if I'm not mistaken,
Oh,
or something.
part I didn't. Okay.
The weather is not cooperating. How about that?
Oh,
Um,
all right.
so fingers crossed she gets to swim, but
Uh,
who knows? Nature may have other plans, basically. Um, yeah.
The pictures they've posted are quite nice.
I
But yeah,
mean, it's the white coast over. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a not good picture of the white cliffs, even when the weather is terrible.
all right. Okay.
Lovely. So next we're gonna pause. It's 3 rounds. The next thing we have is our Bulgarian split squats. So as I discussed before, of course it goes up. You can also, if the split squat itself, lifting the back leg is your complexity element, great. The addition of weight may not be necessary. If you've been doing it with leg lifted, which is Bulgarian split squat versus a split squat with your feet on the ground, then we can start to toy with weight and how we carry that. So, and just like, ankle aside, respecting what your joints are telling you when you do this stuff. So just a quick demonstration on setup and kind of different variations on how to carry something, should you choose. Apologies for the lights, but here we are. So, let's shift you this way. All right, so set up. I'm gonna find, in this case, a sofa, but a seat works just fine here. I'm gonna extend my leg. I'm gonna go with my left, okay? Longer than you might think. So if I get up, I'm normally here, okay? Longer than you probably get up from. It's not fully locked. I don't necessarily need that. Go ahead, assist myself up. Get my back foot. I go top of my foot, okay, on this here. But if you prefer a flexed foot, that's fine. I can already tell you I don't like this too far, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and just scooch myself in because I know I like it closer. I'm gonna squat mostly on my left leg. Right, back up. Same idea with the squat mechanics. So the knee should be in line with the ankle, okay? Hip, knee, ankle. To add weight options, we can go this way, okay? Opposite my standing leg, same as my standing leg. It gets more complex as I add it upward, so I can hold it here, okay? Singular object. I can do 1 or 2. But essentially, we're going to be doing 5 per side, and you may rest between legs. So if lifting the leg isn't a no-go, we can still do our split squats, meaning we can still split squat, right? Or split squat, right? Whatever you like. So a single leg squat variation, if possible. If we need to add complexity, we certainly can. Okay.
All right. Oh, all right. Oh yeah. So start here. All right. I have the
If
sofa.
you're gonna adjust, I would step versus hop. If you're gonna make like adjustments in distance, mostly for accuracy is my concern versus um, um
All right.
yep. If you need to simplify it, you can bring that down by your side like a farmer's carry.
Oh, okay. Okay. 5 per side.
5 per leg. Yep. And just like we talked about that Cossack squat, having different sensations per leg here is fine. It's also fine if you don't feel a difference. I just, more often than not, I found people will say, oh, hey, my right leg feels different than my left, whether it has a harder time balancing, muscular endurance, sometimes just neuromuscular connections, like your brain's telling it to do something, but it doesn't know how to yet. It'll get there. So it's sort of okay for that lag to happen on one side. Or if you add weight, you can't add as much weight on that side. To which I'd say just don't add any more until that can catch up.
Okay.
But unless it goes out saying you have only one leg, then in which case, go for it. Because if you're, I forgot what the term is, but from the knee up, you don't have a joint, then don't worry about it. It's a non-issue for you in some respects. Um,
Okay. All right.
Good.
10. So, I mean, 5 each.
Yeah. 10 total, 5 per side.
Yes.
And we're doing this a total of 5 times.
Wait, did I do that
And
first?
then like you're doing 5 reps per leg,
Yes.
resting,
Yes.
and repeating that. I would say up to 5 times, given that it's kind of right, unless you're watching this in our future, if you will, we can accommodate the volume. So essentially, if you do all 5 rounds, 5 sets, you're doing 25 reps per leg,
Okay.
right? If you need less than that, I said like, you know what? I think 20 is enough. I
Oh,
think 15 is enough. Then that would be 4 rounds,
okay.
5 per side, or it would be, and you can rest, by the way, that's fine. We're still starting with the hip. Yep, initiate with the hip and then the knee can bend. Very much on the standing leg, however, right? So we're not trying not to use the back leg for, at least I try not to use the back leg for additional help. I think that is it's not a hard no, but I try not to use the back leg to assist.
All right.
It removes the balance demand, which is kind of what I'm trying to access here.
Okay. I did 4.
4 reps or 4 sets?
Uh, 4
4
sets.
reps.
I did right 5, 5. That's
Yep,
1 set.
yeah.
Okay.
This
Good.
is set 2.
Oh, I didn't rest in between. So I did uh 3 sets and then rested, and I just did 1 set. Oh, did I do them too fast? I should be doing them slower. One more.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're look, yeah, I realize too if it helps, right? And I don't impose this on everybody because for some people it isn't necessary. But if you're someone who has a hard time, or anyone, this goes to anyone, the hard time resting either like between intervals, that could be in any workout, so weightlifting or any of your endurance sports. That's one of those things where it helps to set a timer. So if you're someone who's like, hey, I need my Garmin to tell me to rest,
Okay.
because otherwise I'll run at threshold or sweet spot or whatever forever, which can sometimes defeat the purpose of the workout. When we put rest in, both as your strength coach or your triathlon coach, it's there for a reason. We want you to recover so that you can do it again and build fatigue. Not if we wanted 20 minutes of steady state, I would just say, go for 20 minutes. Don't worry about resting. Go a pace you can hold. If I want 4 sets of 5 minutes or 4 sets of 5 reps, what I want is 4 sets of 5 reps, meaning you stop between those reps. Even just for a moment, right? If you can do 20 split squats in a row, which is great, by the way, maybe we need to add weight, time under tension, maybe add load, something else, right? So in this case, it's not critical. But if it's something that you struggle with, set a timer. Be like, I have to stop for at least 30 seconds, right? And that could just mean not weightlifting. So if you're someone who can't sit still, that's fine. Just don't lift anything for 30 seconds. At least you can rest longer and then go from there. Okay, my friends, final. Was that set 5 for you? That was, you finished, right, Risa?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. So finally, we have our reverse lunges. This is 10 per leg. So we're sort of accessing the hamstring and the glutes again. 10 Romanian deadlifts. I said or good mornings. Similar movements. One Romanian deadlifts tend to be weighted. The good morning is sort of an unweighted option. Okay, so I'll show you both. And then we have plank rows. This is one where we're back on our plank position. So like a push-up position. And depending on your weights, so kettlebell, dumbbell, singular, we can kind of play with this. But this would be 10 total, so 5 per side, if you think of it that way, on the plank rows. So let's talk reverse lunge steps. Again, weight is optional. By no means you need to do it, but we're sticking with one leg for 10 reps. So if I'm carrying weight, so maybe I choose to do so. I'm going to carry it opposite of my standing, my working leg. So I'm going to be stepping back with my left. Am I? Yeah, no, sorry. I'm going to stand on my left, step back with my right. So stepping back. So I'm just kind of by my side. So if I'm stepping here, I can go unweighted, of course, which is fine too. So 10 back knee, Mary, when I touch the ground. Find your balance before going down. So there's that. The second movement is a good morning, or sorry, Romanian deadlift or a good morning. So Romanian deadlift is where you carry your weight. So in this case, I have a dumbbell. Carry whatever you'd like here. We'll hold by the heads. Okay. Standing up nice and tall. I'm gonna soften my knees so my hips back. And then stop when my hips stop. So it's a horizontal movement of the hip, not a vertical movement of my chest. Okay, so subtle difference makes a difference. So it's all about this. Okay. Your good morning. Similar idea, but it's not necessarily weighted. Nice job, Risa. So this can be your hands behind your head or chest open. Soft knee bend, same idea. Horizontal movement. It's more of just a gentle stretch. We're using the body weight versus an external weight. Yeah, so similar principle. One just has less weight to carry, meaning we're not carrying something externally on our body. So if you're not sure about hinging, this is a great place to start from. You can weight the good morning, by the way. So it's a weighted good morning, Arisa, which is fine. If you want an RDL, or maybe if the hands are down at your legs. Yeah, it's a subtle difference, but there it is, right? And then finally, all right, you can finish off those guys there. Okay. Second dumbbell, because I do have one. 9. Okay. And 10. So full transparency, I don't go very heavy on these because I don't, and that's fine. 10 pounds is plenty. But if you have a singular weight, that's okay too. So I want to show you with 2, and then we'll go with 1. I'm going to show you head on. Okay. I have my camera in a second. My dumbbells about push-up shape distance. I'm going to be on top of a push-up position. And I'm going to go ahead and pull straight from the front, then the side, right? So 1, 2, right? So from the side, same idea. My feet are gonna be nice and wide, help stabilize me here. So almost the edge of my yoga mat here. And 1, 2. This might be a lot. So shoulder taps are going to be a substitute. Shoulder taps are going to be here. Right? Or hands to hip. 10. I'll be right back, okay? Go take your sip.
All right. Two, three, okay. Six, seven, ten, ten. Two.
Good. Is that your third round, Risa?
This is the last set.
Lovely. Nice job with the Romanian deadlifts. Those look great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I heard one of my colleagues describe it as a horizontal motion. And I was like, oh, that makes
Oh.
like I think that's what I've been trying to say all along. But for some people, for a lot of people, I found that cue to be a lot more effective than stop when your hip stops, because some people don't know when their hips are stopping. But typically we can tell directionally if we're going up and down or back and forth. Good. Nice job.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
All right. That's 10.
Good work.
Okay. Okay.
Um, so yeah, good work today. So we're trying to add complexity, right? Again, we're kind of working with making this as accessible as possible, but also making it as challenging as it needs to be. So if you need to adjust the volume as a whole, you could change the number of sets or number of reps per set, but work backwards from the number that you want to cap it at. And then as far as any of the stuff goes, obviously modify so that it's pain-free unless you're working like, especially with like a stiff ankle, stuff like, and it's like you've sprained it. Once it's healing, adding range of motion isn't a bad thing, right? So I want to use your common sense when we're doing any kind of training. Do you have any questions about today, Risa, or how does it feel?
Um, I can't think of any questions. Yeah.
That's
This,
okay.
um, and thanks for emphasizing the point about rest is important too. I always feel like I'm behind and I'm like trying to catch up. It's so, but today it's just me. So,
Yeah, which can be a relief if you feel like you're constantly trying to keep up. The nice thing though, I will say is, I know sometimes I go on the clock, I'll say every minute on the minute or every, we're lifting together. So regardless, we're starting together. Um, but when it comes to weight training, um, or balance-based work, which is a lot of what we do as well, it's okay to I'd rather you be slow, patience, and work at a pace you can manage. Meaning if you're doing Bulgarian split squats and you take an extra second to adjust your foot position or pick your weight off the ground or think through a movement because you need to think through movement. I'd rather that than trying to keep up with the rest of the group. Um, but yeah, if you need to have, you can have a running clock, and be like, okay, I need to stop for at least 20 to 30 seconds before I pick it up again. Obviously, sometimes that's not the case. When we're in a more traditional setting in which I say, hey, let's go heavier, let's say grab bigger dumbbells, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, I have to think about that. And I have to grab the dumbbells, I have to put them down. There's kind of more natural breaks that happen because you're moving things around, you're grabbing different equipment, right? So I still ask my clients to stop and take a break. But a lot of times, stuff I'm like, hey, grab a 20-pound dumbbell. They're like, okay, we're getting heavy now. And so they're like, they're just naturally going to be more cautious or more like, I'll have to think about this now. Like I feel the weight we have in my hands. Whereas I can't be like, here's my 20-pound dumbbell through the screen. Be like, take it. So we're limited by what we have at home. And if you don't have a full gym, that's okay. We're just gonna make what you have work. So you did a great job today. Um, Trying to think of anything else. Other than that, you're good to go. If you have, how did the ankle feel today as a whole?
hey,
Yeah.
uh, definitely. I mean, up until now, it's been like, well, it's still swollen, but I think the swollen part is, uh, oh, it still is a little bit bigger than my other ankle now that I'm looking at it, but I can feel the bone. So, yeah,
Hmm.
better. Uh,
Good.
I haven't been running. Oh wait, I did a big brick run, but for my longer runs, I'm either skipping or doing them on an elliptical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, increasing range of motion is going to be helpful here. So even if you're not doing it under forward motion, like a run, um, just gently sort of increasing that range of motion over time.
Yeah. The side to side didn't seem to bother me. And yeah, and the good morning, that didn't bother me. And
Yeah, the good morning is very hip driven, so that
yeah,
shouldn't change the stack of the foot. The Cossack squats might have challenged it. Uh,
but it didn't bother me. So,
Good. That's good.
okay.
Reverse lunges might challenge it just because you're lifting the foot back and forth. Trying to think of anything else. Split squats might have again challenged it, but hopefully all in a way that is
Yeah.
beneficial versus not.
Stairs
Um,
up and down have been challenging. But yeah.
Good. Well, I'm glad that it's improving. As long as the range of motion's also improving over time, slowly, doesn't have to happen today. You're doing okay. Good work.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I wish safe travels to everyone out there traveling.
Yeah. Right.
Fingers crossed for a swim, and I'll see you guys next week.
All right. See ya.
Bye.